It's been a long time coming from the SC, South Carolina, baby. Sometimes it feels like the world is against me, 'cause I'm coming from SC, from heartache and pain, struggle and strain, trying to maintain for the SC. So mama, don't worry, I'ma make my dreams happen.
Question of the day. When introducing clients to nail art, which of the following should you not do? A. Only show clients examples if they ask first. B. Have tools, implements, and supplies ready, accessible. C. Schedule ample time for nail art services. D. Price the nail art appropriately. Answer will be revealed in the video. Hi guys, welcome to TheNailJeanieSC. How are you? I hope you are well and your family is doing well. Do me a favor if you don't mind. Hit that like and subscribe button for me, and let's get into today's video. So guys, I'm just showing you all the items that I'm going to be using today. And I'm doing a full cover tip. So today I'm going to be using my UNT peel off base coat, which I've already applied to my nails. And then I am going to just take this I think this is the one Jason builder gel, and I'm just going to apply it to my nails. So I'm not going to put any gel on my nails. I'm just going to apply the gel to the nails because that UNT is a gel. A peel off base coat. So it has a tacky layer. So I'm going to just stick these to this, and I'm going to hope and pray. Well, I already know they popped off. They popped off, and I really didn't want them to pop off. But this was just the pop off method I used for the full cover tips. And I do have product on my natural nails, guys. So I do have gel already on my natural nails. So I didn't do any prep to the nails. That's what I did. So now I'm going to be using my, I think that's called Rocuna or Rokuka. I can't remember. Forgive me. But this is the powder that I'm going to be using to dip with today. I got that powder off of Temu, and I am trying it for a subscriber. So I'm going to show you here, guys, the 3 subscribers that I'm going to be shouting out for these videos for this week, because they ask for certain things, and I am just going to try to rope it all into one. So the first mention I want to mention is at Diana Hendricks 7860. She said, "Okay, Jeannie, you asked for it. Do you ever do dip nails? Question mark. I do the gel method dip nails, and I would love to see other techniques for that. Okay, I asked, but if you don't, I totally understand." And I did reply back to Diana and let her know I do dip nails, and I do have a few dip tutorials in my archives. But I am doing dip powder nails this week. We are going to take the whole 5 days this week, and we are going to focus on different things you can do with dip powder and dip powder nails. But I do not, and this is my own preference, I'm not a fan of the gel dip method. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is my own opinion, and this is why I don't really do it. I like to use the dipping system, and I'll tell you all the positive sides of using the dipping system. and then I'm going to tell you why I don't prefer to use the gel and dip powders method. Now, I seen this method done when I was following some nail sisters here on YouTube. The first person I seen doing this method, I think, was Sugar Eclipse here on YouTube. Well, and then I seen another creator who I won't speak about her name. She's no longer here with us, and may she rest in heaven. But I see her doing it as well, and and they did it fine, and it looks good, and it worked for them, and I even tried it, but I just didn't like the method. That method would just not suit me because I was so apprehensive if my dip powder that's underneath that gel is properly cured. Now, in school we learned about mixing products and following your manufacturer advice on using products in order to make sure that you stay safe. So that is one of the reasons why I just did not proceed with that method. Now, it's a quick method. It's easy and it's fast. And if you a person who, you just don't care for the dip system, because a lot of people don't care for the dip system because they don't like the smell of the dip base. Now, I use the systems, and I'm going to tell you the benefit of the system. The benefit for me of the system, because I don't really have if I can smell monomer, I definitely can smell base gel glue. I don't have a problem with that. All the products that we use have some sort of smell to it. It's either going to smell like straight glue, or it's going to smell like the monomer, or whatever we're using. I like the dip method because I don't have to put my hand in the light. I don't have to worry about monomer, and I don't have to worry about stickiness. The downside of dip powder is that grainy powder. If you don't contain it, it's everywhere. And you can feel that dust after several times of doing it. It's just that dust going to get that little grainy feel from the fine acrylic powder. It's going to land in places and you're going to feel it. So that's the negative side of doing dip. But the more positive side of doing dip is when you're doing dip, you don't have to use the e-file. It's better not to. It's better not to use your e-file, because using your e-file can damage or destroy the dip, because it's so fine. Alright, so my next mention is going to be at Bella Boo Nails. And she said, "Hey Miss Jeannie, nice set. Would like to ask if you can please insert in your next video on how exactly you do your pop-off method. Please and thank you so very much for being so informative with all of us talented women and men. I greatly appreciate your kindness." So Miss Bella, I am going to do that all this week. We're going to be using a pop-off method. I'm going to be showing you what I'm using every time I do a video. So today I'm using my UNT, and I'm going to be using UNT all this week, guys. I don't do anything any different because I found doing anything any different is not working for me the way the UNT base coat worked for me. Now, that UNT peel off base coat, that's an expensive product on Amazon. It ain't something that's just, but it's lasting. It lasts you a while. So is it worth the money? If you do pop-off methods or you a content creator, it's well worth the money. It is an investment into your YouTube career. So I'm going to leave the link to the UNT down in the description box below so you can go over and pick you up some. But that is the method I like to use. And when I'm doing, you'll see this week I'm going to be using the UNT base coat. When I'm using tips, I like to use it paired with a matte top coat. So when I'm using tips, I like to use the UNT paired with a matte top coat. But some people like to use the UNT paired with a top coat. It don't matter to them. It's just that it's my preference. If you glue your tips on with the light and gel, then you can use the regular top coat. But I like to glue my nails on with the glue, brush on glue. So I use the matte top coat. It kind of fools the tip into thinking that it's a rough surface, if that makes sense. And I learned this method from Nail to the Hustle here on YouTube. Lisa here on YouTube, guys, and I will link her down in the description box as well. So now, me using this powder, it goes to my third mention, and that's for @justnikki_ here on YouTube. And Nikki is a great sister, friend, and content creator of mine. And she asked me when she saw me use these as acrylics, Jeannie, are these good for dips? Can you use them as dips? So, Nikki, this video is dedicated to you today, sweetheart, because I am using I'm using one of these powders as a dip, and I think you're going to like the outcome. So, if you asking me, are these finely milled to make a dip set look good? A1. I would say yes, yes, yes. So if you're a person who been on the fence about purchasing Temu products or any Temu acrylic powders, guys, I will tell you this Racuna or Rakuka brand of acrylics, I love them. You have to, everything don't work for everybody. But for me, I like it. It's working for me on both ways. It worked for me in acrylic and it worked for me in dip. So I feel like for that affordable price, I'm getting something I can use and I can use on myself and my clients and feel confident about. So that's just me. Okay? So, yeah, I hope that helps you. So, ladies, this week, I hope that these methods that I show you, the ideals that I give you in using dip, and the things that we're going to do with dip this week, I hope it helps you. I hope it kind of answers some of your questions. And I hope that, we can grow and learn together. And guys, get your dip stuff out and dip with me this week. All of my videos are going to be in real time. I think closer to the end of the week, I may speed up the filing parts and things that you've seen over and over and over again. But I can assure you today's video is in real time. So you will see everything that I'm doing step by step, how I'm doing it. So the first step that I did once I got my nails and everything together is I took a strip of the base coat and I went a thin layer down from that smile line to the free edge of the nail. And that is going to help me create my apex. So that is the one thing that is important when doing dip, because you still want your nails to, you still want to get an apex. You still want your nails to form the same way if you was doing any other medium. So that is a way to help build up the apex of your nails when doing dip. And then once you have dipped all 5 or 10 fingers, depending on if you a person like me, a content creator, and you only doing 5 fingers, or you doing a DIY at home dip system, you doing all 10 fingers, you want to go ahead and do all 10 fingers, and then come back to the first finger you started with, and then brush off the excess powder off of each finger before going in again with your dip base. Okay? So now I'm going to go back in with my dip base, and I'm going to go in that second time. And when I go in that second time on my dip base, I'm going back from where I started when I was creating the apex. But this time I'm going to cover a majority of the nail. I'm going to cover from sidewall to sidewall down the center of the nail, an even balance, and then I'm going to dip. I'm going to do all 5 fingers, and then I'm going to go back. I'm going to dust off all 5 fingers, and then I'm going to go back in with another base coat. So now we on our 3rd coat, and I'm going back towards the cuticle now. I'm getting close to the cuticle, but not flooding the cuticle. Now, it's good to keep yourself one of these, like a cuticle stick, either the wooden stick or the little plastic stick you can purchase from Shein. It's good to have one of those, or even a metal pusher will help you. If you have one with, where you clean off and up under your nails, that side, that will help you as well. You want to clean around the cuticles and side walls as much as you can when doing dip, because that's going to save you a lot of time on the finish filing side of things when you go to file your nails. When we always cleaning up that shape after the process, that's going to save you a lot of time, guys, because dip powder is so finely milled. When you try to file it, you can chip into that dip powder if you too aggressive in your filing. I don't recommend using an e-file at all when you got dip powder. I recommend you trying it only to use your hand file. This is the one medium I would say it's better to use your hand file. Even at the cuticle area, you should have a moon shape e-file, or if you are good with your e-file. And if you're doing what you see me do this week with the cuticle pusher, you should have no problems having a good clean cuticle area. But if you must use your e-file, try to use a very, very fine grit arbor band, sanding band, like a 220 or something that's not so aggressive and not going to eat away at your dip, because it's not going to take a lot of that e-file to penetrate that dip powder and chip it up. And if you a dip connoisseur, you already know what I'm talking about. You probably experienced it from the right out the gate when you started chipping and you started dipping and kind of was asking yourself, wait, I'm always cleaning up my cuticle with my e-file. I'm always going around this area right here, and I'm not having this issue with any other medium. Why am I having this issue with this medium? It's because dip powder is very finely milled, and let me tell you something, guys. The activator, once it's on there, that don't mean that it's completely penetrated through. So I'm going to show you guys how when I'm using the activator as well, how I have to go back over and put more activator on the nail once I do the finish filing. So right here, I'm just doing another coat. Now, you can build the layers of dip with your color acrylics if you choose, but I like to use every medium and go, in my mind, do every medium the same way. So if you guys been watching me quite some time, and you see here I'm using the cuticle stick, this is what you want to do. You want to clean up around the free edge of, the side walls of the nail and the cuticle area to make sure you don't have any dip just hanging and sitting on there. That glue will start to sit and it'll harden up. And in order to keep your nails from bulking out and flooding the cuticle, you want to have something like this in your possession. Okay, so what I was saying is I am going to, instead of using my powder to build up my nail, because it takes a while to build up a nail with dip, because dip is, like I said many times in this video, is very thinly fine milled. So it's going to take you quite a good many dips to build it up to whatever way you like your nails to be built, right? So I just like to get a good color coverage. I'm sorry, guys. I like to get a good coverage. Cover. Oh my goodness. Color coverage with this cover powder. I like to get a good color coverage and then build up the nail with my clear. Okay, so now that I got that tongue twister out, so I'm just looking at the nail right now. I'm assessing my nail and I'm thinking, do I want to go with another coat? Do I want to just go ahead now and build it up with the clear? Now, these are things that you're going to assess for yourself. When it's your at home, doing your nails at home, you get to make the decision on how you want to proceed with how you do your nails. That's the good part about now learning how to do our own nails at home and these DIY do it yourself is because you get to assess how you want your nails to look. And you're not in a shop where they doing what they want to do and giving you the least amount of product because they want to get you in and out. It's a coverage. Now you get to make the choice if I want to continue. Do I want, instead of 3 dip coats, do I want 4? Do I want 5? That's your choice. But you have to assess the nails the same way you do with any other medium. Looking at the nail sidewall to sidewall to see what the coverage is and making sure you get the nail from sidewall to sidewall in the medium, the free edge, and close to the cuticle area. And get all of that covered. Okay. So also, guys, be mindful of another thing when dipping. When you dip your nails, and I'm going to show you here with this thumb. If your nails, if you have like I don't know how to say it, but if you have like a shiny spot, and you see here closer to my cuticle area, there's a shiny spot right there. That means I need to put some more powder there because the powder didn't soak through and get to that base. So I want to make sure that it's covered. I want to make sure that powder is soaking into that base and covering that nail. If you don't do this, when you go to do finish filing, you will have a thin spot in your nail plate. Now, if you've already activated the nail, now you have to go back and try to start the process again. Well, you can't just go over the nail once you activate the nail with the base coat brush. If you do, that's why the systems have this brush saver, because that activator is going to harden your base coat brush, because it's something in that activator that is called the curing power, and it's called resin activator, or it's the activation to cure the nails. It's that activator is what is going to cure and harden that dip powder. So it's a must to have that in any dipping system if you're using the dip system. And that's why I'm not a person who just, I don't do the gel method, because I don't know if that dip is fully cured all the way through. It's like having that wrinkling in gel polish. Your top surface is cured, but underneath there, it's nothing but runny gel. And that's why I don't like using the gel method for dipping. But that's just my opinion. That's just me. If you like it, you stick with it. If it ain't never bothered you, that's between you and your dipping system and your do it yourself at home nails. They don't have anything to do with nothing else, It's just, that's only just personal opinion and personal, the way I feel personally. Okay? So now I'm going to go in, guys, and I'm going to take this clear, and I pulled out another dipping tray, because you're going to really need. Now, I'm going to show you guys, I think in my last video, I'm going to show you how to use these mini damping dishes that you get. So if you don't have cupcake liners, and I don't know if I'm using I think I'm using cupcake liners. But if you don't have cupcake liners and you a person who you like to just dip your own nails, if you doing your own nails at home, you could dip your hand in your powder how many times you feel like it. If you never using that powder on nobody else, you could dip your hand in powder all day long if you want to. But because I am licensed nail tech and I do take clients, this is why you see me doing the pour method. You're going to see me put powder in cupcake liners, roll my hands in it, or roll my finger in it. You're going to see me doing a lot of different methods because I don't dip my hand in any jars. You're not going to see me do that at all this week. So I'm telling you guys, if you are a DIYer, and you only do your own nails at home and they're not at this length, because you have to remember you want to get an even coverage all the way on the nail. Now if you're wearing nails this long, you're going to have to pour in over the nails or put them in a cupcake liner. You're not going to be able to just dip your hand in a jar unless that jar is super tall. Okay? So, you're gonna see me doing different ways, but you won't see me dipping my hand into the jar itself. Even though I don't get to use my powders as much on my dipping systems as much on clients, but I still have to be mindful that you never know what your client is going to ask for when they come in to see. So they may come in with you thinking we're going to do one thing, and they come in and say, no, I want to try this because I saw such and such, or whatever. Right? So, yeah. So I'm going to encapsulate all of these nails. So guys, the answer to the question of the day, you do not want to only show clients examples if they ask first. You want to make sure your examples are all around your nail area, in your nail room, your nail shop, your nail studio. You want to make sure that the client can see that you can do nail art. Even if it's on a stand in the front of the door or whatever. They have so many things now that you can purchase off of Shein and Temu and AliExpress and Amazon, where you can have a display for your nails. I have had many a client sit in my seat, not know what they want to do, and I just hand them a book of things and designs that I've already done on clients prior to them, or things that I've worked on just in the comforts of my own nail room when I didn't have a client. And I can get them to, I like this, I want this, and I can look at it and say, okay, I can recreate that because I am the original creator of it. So, yeah, you want to make sure, and even if you're not the original creator and it's something you've done before, your brain to show you or tell you that you can do it again on your client. But that's just a thing. You have nail art around, or show them different things that you do when it comes to nail art wise, or you have your charms and your bling and things on display, or your nail arts and things like that. That way they know that you're not just limited to just putting a color on their nails, that you can do so much more. You have so much more to offer them. Alright guys, so now I'm just showing you guys, I'm getting ready to activate the nails. As I stated, the activation is a very big key part of doing your dip powder nails with the liquids. So you want to make sure you're done completely covering your nail, encapping the nail. You got the nail built up how you want to before you activate the nail. Because once you place this activator on it, guys, don't go back putting that gel brush back on this nail, because you have to go through a certain method before sticking gel back on an activated nail. Okay? So I am going to take the activator and I'm going to get this nail activated very, very nicely. I'm going to make sure I got the side walls. I'm going to make sure I got the free edge. I'm going to make sure I got close to the cuticle, I'm going to make sure that it's covering. You don't want to get the activator on the skin. It's like primer. You don't want to get the primer on the skin. Think of activator the same way. I do not want to get it on my skin. I just need to keep it on the nail surface. So, but you want to make sure you give yourself a good amount, as they say, good healthy amount of it on your nail, so you can make sure that nail gets very, very firm and very, very hard, because the activating the nail going to allow you the opportunity at now, once it's set, for you to clean up your shape, buff the surface a little bit of the nail if you need to. Excuse me, guys. Get out the humps, lumps, and bumps if you have any, which you shouldn't, but I mean, if it's your first time out the gate, I know my first time out the gate, I didn't realize the way I just kept wanting to, when I was not a nail tech and didn't go to school, and I had my own products that I was only using on myself and my daughter. Guys, I was sticking my big old long nails into these jars and wondering why I was getting this little hump at the top. And it's because it wasn't covered, and every time I stuck my hand in that jar and it hit the bottom, it was moving and shifting my base gel. So I guess it took a while. I think I've been in nails for a little bit, 2 and plus years, almost 3. Licensed for almost 3, I think. No, I think I've been licensed 3 years this month. Wow. That it took a while. It took a lot of practice. It took me making a lot of mistakes until I figured it out. And let me tell you, these applications don't always come out clean. Y'all gonna see one application this week. I was not feeling it. I just wanted to show you that things that you can do. It wasn't my best. I mean, I think I should have used a shorter nail, but hey, we'll get there when we get there. Right now, I am loving the set. I am loving the set. Now, once you get the activator on your nails, guys, you want to let it sit a few minutes, or maybe about 5 to 10 minutes. You want to make sure it harden up. But because these nails are so long, and I've never wore nails this long and dipped before, I'm going to go ahead and activate it a second time just to make sure all the activator is penetrating those layers that I put on the nail. Now, you can do this or you don't have to do it. It's totally up to you. It's your discretion. It's your nails. So, because we do a DIY, we doing it ourselves, we get to do and make the choices we want to make when it comes to doing our nails, right? So, I'm going to just take this second layer, and I'm going to activate the nail really good. Make sure I get those side walls. I make sure I'm getting in that cuticle area. I make sure I'm getting that free edge, because when I go to file, I don't want my product chipping away on me. I want to make sure it all stays fully covered on the nail, and I get this beautiful new set that I want. And guys, with a new set like this, you could do anything on this nail. You could do Frenchies. You can do nail art, freehand nail art. You can do rhinestones, bling placement, stickers, stamping. You could do so much on this nail. It's just a base. I'm just creating a base. We just creating a base for ourselves, right? I'm not going to do any of that today because I did not want to make this video super long. But I wanted just to show you guys the method. We really focusing on the method of dip. We're not focusing on anything other than that this week. We're just focusing on the method of the dip system I use. If there is some newer young men and young women coming to this nail industry and not knowing, how do you use the system? I hope this video finds you and finds you well. That way you'll be able to see how it's such an easy system. I love dipping. It's one of the easiest mediums, I think, for myself. And yeah. So what you want to do is you want to hear that click, click, click sound. So you guys, if you doing acrylic, and when you go to file and shape your acrylic, you want to hear that click, 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 that tapping noise. That's the same noise you want to hear with this dipping powder system. You could, because as we state, dip is just a form of acrylic. It is acrylic. It's not nothing else. It's acrylic. But it's acrylic in its finest milled form, and you're using base gel and an activator instead of monomer. Okay? So, they all have that methacrylate ingredient in the system. So you will know that that's going to be in all acrylic systems. You're going to see methacrylate. It's going to be that and another one. I think it's either the A or, but I know methacrylate is in this. I actually was looking at the ingredients on the back because I was reading something that said it's in all acrylic products. So here you'll see I'm filing, and because I'm doing this on my right hand using my non-dominant hand, I'm actually just using my hand to go up and down the file. I'm not moving the file, I'm moving my hand. So I'm moving my hand all around the file so I can make sure I get a smooth surface and everything come together. I'm looking at my cuticle area. I don't really have to do a whole lot there. And I'm going to show you guys, I think I over-filed on this nail maybe, and it chipped away some of the acrylic in that cuticle area. So you want to be careful not to do that. Plus, I'm not using the best grit. I'm using 100 grit. You really want to use a 180 grit and nothing more or nothing lower than that on dip, because you can just really eat that product away. But I love this Tammy Taylor file. It's one of I love Tammy Taylor files. And I just keep files that I use for tape, when I'm filming. I keep those nearby, and those are the files I use until, I use them up, toss them out, and start with something new. But I don't like just, wasting files. So I only use my newer files. I have a drawer full of files, guys. I mean, I have files and I still have files I can't even get in the drawer. But those are the ones I use for my clients. I do like to purchase files every time I get the chance, because you definitely want to keep that on hand. That's just a must if you take clients, to have files and buffers on hand. So for me, when I'm doing filming or using my practice hand, I like to have just those certain things that I use for that on my nearby me, so I can do my filming and everything, and I'm not, using newer files and buffers until I have to. I hope that makes sense. Alright guys, so I have filed and have I buffed? I'm not sure if I buffed the surface. I thought I just filed, but I probably did already buff. I probably did that off camera. So what I'm doing now is I am going to activate the nail once again. I'm just here looking at the shape. I want to make sure that shape is clean, and I want to make sure it's crisp to my liking. I want to make sure that, the nail shape did not misform itself in any kind of way. And I just love how these turned out. They turned out absolutely gorgeous. If I could have kept these on, I would have, guys. But of course, y'all know I used the peel off. So I tried to keep them on as long as I could. They stayed on till I got in the tub. When I got in the tub, they was gone. Soon as that hot water hit it, that was it. So I am taking the activator here, guys, and I am going to reactivate. And I told you in the beginning, I'm going to show you how to reactivate. I am going to reactivate this nail. And the reason why you want to do a second activation after finish filing is because when you file, you could have open or penetrated layers in the dipping process that the activation didn't get to. And you want to make sure that your product is hard, and you're not gonna, soon as you hit it on something hard or whatever, it causes an indentation because the powder still is not hard enough. It's still got a little soft or mushy in it. So you want to reactivate the nail after filing and buffing just to make sure that any little cracks, crevices, or surfaces that the activation may or may not have penetrated in the beginning, that it penetrates in it now. Okay, so that is the reason for. And if you read your instructions for any dipping system, it'll tell you to reactivate the nail after shaping and filing. But if you're a person who you look at the instructions and say, "Oh, I think I can get it and toss it," you probably never knew that you was to reactivate the nail after filing and buffing the nail at finished filing. So I've done that. Now I'm going to go and wash my hands. And what you want to do with the activation, you want to make sure that you're washing your hand with soap and water and a scrub brush. You want to wash your hands, scrub the scrub brush across the nail plate really, really good to make sure all of that activation is off the nails before putting your top coat on the nails. Now I'm going to go wash my hands. I'm going to come back. Guys, I like using my Cooper top coat. And of course, the Savlan is a 2-in-1 with base and top coat. But I don't want to use that. I don't think I ever like to use any of the dipping systems top coats. I would do it for if I'm doing a product review with a company. But if it's just me doing my nails, I'm going to use the top coat of my choice. So I like using my Cooper, and I love this little glitter mat I have, but I think I'm going to have to stop using it in taping because the camera want to only focus on the mat. It don't ever want to just stay focused on what I need it to stay focused on, so. Yeah, okay. So here, after I've washed my nails and cleaned the surface of my nails, I'm going to go in with this Young Nail Swipe and a lint-free wipe, and I'm just going to scrub the nails one more time before going in with my top coat. I am going to ensure myself that there is no more activator on my nails at all, because I do not want my brush to get stiff, because I'm using my favorite top coat, and I don't want to have to go looking in my drawer for a brush saver, which I do have plenty of them. But I don't want to have to. And guys, this week I will show you a system with the brush saver. I will show you guys, how to use why the brush saver is there, and why, what it's used for. So yeah, I'll be showing you guys that sometime this week. So stay tuned for all of those videos. And if you are here, guys, you've stayed with me this long, I want to thank you all for the support to my channel. I truly appreciate you all very much. If you are here and have not subscribed, go ahead if you would and hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of my YouTube journey as well as my YouTube family. Guys, we are so super close to that 500 mark, and I am going to always be forever grateful for all of you who show me so much love on this platform. But I am just so happy. I know I want to go beyond 500. I want to actually reach 1,000 by December. But I am taking it step by step and day by day. And whatever God has for me, that's what He'll give to me. And I'm okay with that. But I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. I see you, my new subscribers, coming on board. And whatever I can show you, whatever ideals you have, or whatever you like to see, if I can do it within the boundaries of what I do, guys, I will do a video for you and put it up. I am a person who I like to challenge myself, and I know that there's others out, and I tell you, I have a client who tells me all the time, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. And guys, she has taken me out of my comfort zone. She have put me in places I didn't think I could do, like doing flowers, 3D art, and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, I get so petrified because I don't want it to turn out crappy. But she challenges me, and it always come out beautiful and gorgeous in the end. So I just want to thank you guys for the love and the support and challenging me on this journey and giving me ideals and keeping me inspired and letting me know, you got it in you. So just keep pushing because we believe in you and we love what you're doing. Just by the comments alone, just by, the love you showed me in the comments and the likes and the views, it means so much. So guys, thank you for helping us get to close to our 500 subscribers. We got a little bit more to go, but we will get there. And when we get there, we will be having a big giveaway. Well, not the biggest, because the biggest will probably be when I hit 1,000. But we're going to be having a big giveaway. And then we're going to also be giving away a gift card for our international friends. So, yes, it's going to be 2 winners. It's going to be a U.S. winner, and we're going to have an international winner as well. So, I want to make sure that, everybody who has supported me have the option to join the giveaway once we announce the giveaway opening. And I don't want nobody to feel like, well, I can't join because I live XYZ. An e-gift card, a screenshot. Everybody got Amazon. So Amazon is everywhere. So hopefully, and if you have a Temu or a Shein, we can do that too. So don't worry. We'll make sure that our international family is taken care of as well. Alright guys, so I have top coated these nails and we are going to get to the final look. I hope this dip powder nail tutorial today has helped someone on their nail journey. Bella, Diana, and Nikki, I hope and pray that you enjoyed today's video and this week of its entirety. I hope you enjoy different styles that we can do with dip. Guys, stay tuned for the rest of the week. Make sure you have your post notifications on so you don't miss out on these amazing videos. Tomorrow, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a French pink and white set. So we're going to do the pink and white, and I'm going to show you guys how it can be done with the dip powder. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me over on all of my socials at TheNailJeanieSC. And guys, yes, how do you like these nails? Super, super gorgeous. You always know we got to put a little cuticle oil around these rusty, dusty cuticles because staying in all that powder, playing in alcohol, washing my hands and doing all of that, these hands are dry and need some refreshing. And so that good old beautiful flower scented cuticle oil I have right here is going to nourish those cuticles and bring them things back to life. Guys, if you don't keep your cuticle oil or cuticle pins with you, keep your cuticle oil and cuticle pins with you at all times and make sure you nourishing them cuticles every day. It'll help keep that tough skin from building up around your nail area, because if you're like me and you are a content creator, you constantly doing something with your hands. And guys, my hands was feeling all of that this week because I did a video for you guys for every day of this week. So yeah, my hands was feeling it. Look how these turned out. Simply gorgeous and amazing. And people can't even tell the difference when you do a medium on a nail. Acrylic used to be the thing back in the day, and that's all you could go in the shop and you're going to get acrylic. And then they introduced gel. But dip has become that system now in this new age that, yeah, everybody get dip and you can't tell the difference. You can't tell if they got acrylic. You can't tell you can't tell because it's so absolutely gorgeous. And when it's done correctly, it just absolutely amazes you. So guys, I did these with a full cover tip so it can be done and it don't cause a whole lot of bulk. You just got to know how to apply your tips and all the things that you need to do with it. But these are the items that we use today. And yes, guys, I'm just tugging on the nail to see if it's going to pop off. but I didn't want to tug too hard. It did not pop off. These nails actually popped off at night. I can't remember. I think I did this like in the mid of the day, in about 2 or 3 hours when I went to go and have my afternoon bath. They popped off. So sometimes they can last a pop off method if your hands are like mine, tiny, and you be doing all kind of stuff and putting things under you, onto the natural nail plate. Your hands can hold those tips on there for at least a day before the pop off method really just, the nails pop off. But don't be alarmed if it's not working for you. Just know that I didn't do any prep and I did put the pop off on, so they will pop off. They will come out. Sometimes you just need to soak your hand in a little bit of water, a little bit of warm water with some soapy, like Dawn dish detergent and some cuticle oil, and then they'll pop right off. So those are the ways you can release the nails if your nails are not popping off right away. So you can move on to your next set if you need to. Alright guys, I will see you all in my next video. You already know what time it is. The deuces are flying in the air. Poof, the nail genie. She's out.